Blitz. Today we'll be talking about Anubis, Egyptian god of the dead. I'll be breaking down his ability kit to its entirety, all the bits, tricks, and things that make him. Anubis is part of the mage class in Smite, so he deals magical damage, and being a part of that class gives him passive power as he levels up, maxing out at 40 power at level 20.
Anubis.
With that, I think we'll jump right into his passive. Anubis' passive is called Sorrow. As Anubis hits an enemy god or minion, he steals their protections, while increasing his healing next. Anubis gains a stack from each tick of his abilities. Anubis also passively gains 30% crowd control reduction at all times. The stolen protections per stack is 7 physical and magical protections, while the increased lifesteal healing per stack is 20% increased healing. With a max duration of 5 seconds and a max stack count of 3 stacks, this makes lifesteal incredibly useful on Anubis, boosting any lifesteal by 60%, and the 30% CCR is a nice bonus as Anubis themselves don't have any traditional escape, so having CC be shorter is nice to allow a bit more survivability. Stacking comes from every single tick of his abilities, meaning they don't have to do damage, and his 2 that doesn't do damage still provides a stack. Now on to Anubis' first ability, which is called Plague of Locusts. Anubis crouches down, bellowing locusts from his mouth, damaging the enemy in a cone in front of him every quarter second for 3 seconds. Anubis is immune to knockups and moves at half movement speed while channeling his ability. Each tick of damage does a max of 50 base damage, plus 20% of your magical power. This ability is your highest damaging ability at level 1, doing a total of 216 base damage, plus 240% of your magical power, and can full clear level 1, or gets close to it depending on how much power you currently.
Mummify.
Anubis' second ability is called Mummify. Anubis fires a bundle of wrappings. If it hits an enemy god, it wraps them up, stunning them. The max duration of the stun is 2 seconds. This ability is amazing setup for any part of Anubis' kit, and allows Anubis to safely get his tick damage off, as it forces an enemy to stay inside of his tick damage for longer. Do keep in mind for this ability is that it doesn't pass through minions or walls, so if you're targeting an enemy god, make sure you're not hitting any minions along the way or a wall along the way.
Let the eternal darkness embrace you.
Anubis' third ability is called Grasping Hands. Anubis summons hands from the underworld in an area of his choice, clawing at the feet of his enemies, doing damage every half second for 2 seconds, slowing any enemy hit by the hands. The max damage of this ability is 65 base damage plus 35% of your magical power, and the maximum slow of 25%. Anubis' fourth and final ability is his ultimate. It is called Death Gaze. Anubis makes a beam of energy that pierces everything, doing damage to everything that it hits, doing damage every 0.1 seconds for 3 seconds. The max damage of 1 tick is 43 base damage, plus 15% of your magical power. Those numbers might sound low, but if you hit an enemy with every single hit of your beam, the total damage of your beam does 1,290 base damage, plus 450% of your magical power. So your ultimate does a lot of damage, and if you hit his 2 alongside it, Mummify, it makes it easier to hit every single tick of his ultimate, getting a pretty guaranteed kill from your ultimate. Or, if used to secure an objective, it is great to secure. That was Anubis' entire kit, so now I'll get into some useful tips to help you excel at Anubis, as well as how you should be playing Anubis in general to maximize his usefulness.
I must hurry. My enemies await judgment.
Anubis' strongest point is early to mid-game, as until then no one will compete compete with his lifesteal and should outsustain most gods that he is faced with. On top of that, you steal a flat number of protections that don't increase as the game gets later, so the effects of that are more effective earlier into the game, as stealing 100 protections early game is a lot more impactful earlier than later, as you're doing 21 more theoretical damage each tick early.
With this I bring death.
Anubis, even though all of his damage is tick damage, he plays like you would a burst, clearing with his plague while letting the underworld hands pull your enemy down, trying to get them low enough until you can full commit to combo, blocking down your opponent and blowing them up with all of your abilities of your base kit, hopefully giving you some sort of lead going into team.
You cannot plague me.
During a team fight, to get the most out of Anubis, you want to stay as far away from the enemy as you can, as it is easy for them to jump on you and hard for you to run away. Having no dash, but given you're in a 1v1 scenario with an enemy god, you can use your wrap on key targets that you think you can kill and annihilate them quickly, turning it into a 4v5. And from there, you can stay with the rest of your team, closer to the enemy, use your abilities when your front line engages for you. Otherwise, you can continue to wrap people and 3 them from distance, only using your 1 and 4 when the rest of your team fully commits to a kill, as well as you do, so they can at least protect you as you blow up the wrapped enemy.
You cannot stop us.
Because of how power scaling works with magical autos, auto attacks aren't that high of damage as for magical characters. They only scale by 20% of your magical power. To explain what an auto attack cancel is, when auto attacking, there are specific phases to an auto attack. Anubis has a normal action phase where the projectile comes out from the character, and a long recovery phase to prepare for the next auto attack. Anubis doesn't have anything inside of his kit that would benefit from an auto attack cancel, and even though it would provide him more theoretical damage, I don't think it is worth it for most of his abilities, gaining the small amount of benefit for the movement speed reduction you obtain from auto attack, as it slows your character by 50% of your movement speed, since it is a ranged auto attack. The only time you might want to auto attack cancel is before your entire combo. So, right before you wrap somebody, you would auto wrap, and then anything you do from there.
Join me in the realm of the dead.
So, to look at what a full rotation of your abilities can look like is this. Or start off when you're full commitment without ultimate. So, auto, 2, 3 under their feet, and then 1. Then a full commitment with your ultimate would be auto, 2, 3 under their feet, and then 4.
Come, look into my eyes and gaze upon death itself.
Anubis is a very gripping god with a lot to learn, and if you choose to understand the truth over heart and learn Anubis, may your enemies be embalmed for death by your hands. As you yourself prepare them for their passing, I wish you luck on the battlefield, so you may take your rightful place among the gods and become the best god